There are two things which spring to mind from the Meghan and Harry documentary on Netflix. The first is the sense of shared pain, which of course or inherited pain, which we get so clearly articulated in The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak, the girl who has never been to Cyprus suddenly screams in class as a fig tree which equally has never been to Cyprus is buried in the ground to shelter from a coming storm. And I think Harry is that child. Harry is the child who has never actually experienced that pain but has inherited the pain. And he says in the documentary, everything that happened to us was always going to happen to us. If you speak truth to power, that's how they respond. He's not correct. He's not correct. That's not how they always respond. It's not how power always responds when truth is identified. But it is one possible response. And it is certainly possible that Harry has experienced extraordinary pain, and in his attempt to stand up for himself or to hide in the skirts of Meghan Markle, he has got caught up in further abuse. How that's been manifest is not that clear, and Harry doesn't, for example, explain who was the person who was racist in the royal family and so on. There are many questions in the Netflix documentary that are left hanging, and probably rightly so, but it's not as damaging as was sensationally claimed, in exactly the same way as The Crown was not as damaging. And actually, I think in the end Harry comes off very sympathetically. I'm not convinced that Meghan does. Meghan comes off as somebody who is coattailing a greatly damaged individual. But she is also clearly extremely helpful, and he is very dependent on her. And as I say, give Harry a hug. He is a boy who definitely deserves it. As for the opera interview, hugely foolish to have done, but very, very understandable. And I think, Harry is a greatly damaged and frankly greatly loved, and with very good reason. He has huge charisma and enormous potential, and it would be a great shame to see this wasted in a knee-jerk and highly insensitive response by power. And people don't always respond in the same way. And Harry's response to all the trauma of the past is to serve. He served in the army. He's now effectively serving his wife. Harry needs purpose, and he needs a sense of, he is instilled with a sense of duty which is astonishing, and loyalty which is astonishing. And it's a loyalty in the face of adversity wherever he identifies that adversity. I think at the moment he identifies that in the system that surrounds the monarchy. And that is a great shame, and it's a great shame that that system has been unable to bend and accommodate somebody who is quite clearly so committed to that sense of service, so committed. And if there is a fault, and I think that if is very doubtful itself, if there is a fault, that fault lies squarely with the system of monarchy, not even necessarily with the monarch himself, but with the system that surrounds it. It is inflexible, and it should have found a way to be more flexible. There are plenty of people in the system to have been able to deal with the consequence, the impact of trauma.